last bit from me before we look at the tool, and this is to get you a bit more engaged, let's say. Source attribution. So that is also in the APIS tool, and Cristina will show you that for a particular site. It is based on modeling, and what we've done is we've taken 100 sources in the UK. We've modeled each of them to get a footprint or a matrix for any, I think it's 5 kilometer grid square. This map, these two maps just show you model outputs from that. So we've got livestock dry deposition for England, and on the right we've got sulfur from shipping. So we've created, we've got 100 or so maps of these different sources, and if you put all the maps on top of each other, you can build up a matrix of what is happening at that site. So next slide. Okay, so we're gonna have a quiz, and what we'll do is ask you to put your answers in the chat. So next slide. So this is your kind of understanding slide. This is a sort of pie chart you're going to see. This is a sort of pie chart you'll see in APIS. This is actually an average across the whole Natura network that I did. It's not using the most up-to-date, not using the latest model runs we've done, but it gives you an indication of some of the sources that are making up nitrogen deposition across the Natura network. So a third of it is coming from agricultural livestock. 10% is NOx from export, import from Europe. We've got road transport at 6%. We've got shipping contributing to nitrogen. So that sort of makeup you'll see on the app when you go to a site, and you'll have these categories. It'll give you, I think you'll find most of the sites you go to not always have this livestock as a key component, okay? And we have a sulfur pie and a nitrogen pie and a sulfur pie, okay? So next slide. So here's your, we've got three sites to look at. And what I want you to tell me is, what is the source at this site? So you just have to guess. We will reveal underneath with one click the, not yet, but we're on the blue. What is this big blue? Have a guess what that source might be. This is nitrogen, by the way. This is a nitrogen source. This is quite a clean site up in Shetland. You've got some European import, you've got some livestock, a few others. You've got this big one. So anyone in the chat had a go at this? Shipping, bird, guano, food, seabirds, fish processing, fish farm. Okay, if you just do one click. Okay, that says non-agricultural, non-abatable, right? That means we can't mitigate this source, but it's a non-agricultural source. Some of you have got it. Next click. It's this is the site. It's one of the it's a large source coming from seabird colonies. Okay, so sea cliffs and things. So well done if you got that one. Next slide. This should be very easy. Right. This is also another nitrogen source. It's in Northern Ireland. So what is the source that's giving half? I don't know why it says NOx. That should be ignore the NOx. I think that's wrong. Livestock, somebody said, cattle, livestock. Okay, so one click, livestock, and click again. Yeah, so this is Peatlands Park SAC. It's dominated by ammonia emissions from livestock. So nearly half. You'll see European import. That's the long range transport coming in from, well, Europe in this case is coming from Ireland, potentially, in the south, but also other EU countries, depending on the meteorology, of course. Last one. Next slide. Right, this is sulfur. So this is a sulfur pie way down in the southwest of England. You've got, it's not exceeded for acidity. It's got quite a high sulfur. What's coming here? Shipping, shipping, shipping. Vehicles, shipping. So let's click international shipping and click once more. Yeah, so Newland Downs. So it's on, as you can imagine, shipping lanes in the channel. And even though it's actually quite a small contribution of sulfur in total, it is half of it is coming from shipping. Okay, so that just gives you a flavor of source attribution, and you'll see for every site, SAC, SSI, SPA, and also any grid square in the UK, not quite in the tool yet, will give you a source attribution pie of what is coming in that makes up the total N and the total S at that location. Okay, I'm 2 minutes, I think we're 2 minutes over, which is great. Is there any questions on?
So Anna is asking, which category does industrial combustion fit into?
I mean, it's the purple section.
It's a sector. There's an industrial combustion sector.
So it's power stations.
I think it includes power stations. There is a within the site, and we have to make sure this is in the help part of the tool. There is a list, isn't there, I believe, Cristina, of how they are grouped. Certainly we need to give that, but it would include, it doesn't include power, it just includes all the other industrial processes of manufacturing. There is a domestic combustion element for, people heating their homes and things like that. So there's quite a few sectors. Okay. Okay, and yes, it's mainly NOx, that one, of course. Industrial combustion will be mainly NOx. The nitrogen deposition will be made up of NOx in that part of the pie. Okay, it's a combustion emission. So do think about the two forms of nitrogen, particularly if you're looking at nitrogen, you've got your NOx, which is your combustion, mainly lead emissions, transport, burning fossil fuels. And then you've got your ammonia, NH3, which is your agricultural sources. Okay.